Team, we're back again. Another battle report.
Yes, it is.
It's another battle report.
It's another one!
Myrmidon are back. An all-new list. Yes, updated for 8th edition.
Oh, I like them.
Yeah, it's not super competitive.
No.
We've got a nice strong list, an interesting list.
Yeah, it's cool though.
Yeah.
I really like it.
With units you don't see very often.
No.
Which I like even more.
Yeah, me too.
You know, it's boring to see the same units all the time.
Yeah.
So, you know. So, cool. Yeah, we'll be going over the Myrmidon list. And then we've got an all-new Nefritai list for the Necrons as well. Your old favourites, the old Nefritai Dynasty.
Oh, yes.
Mr. Bang.
Yeah.
So, question is, who do you think is going to win this game?
Me.
Of course. Now, what if there were no players and we're just talking about the armies themselves?
Me.
Okay, so with no further ado, list's coming up. Folks, the Nefritai. The Nefritai are here.
Yes.
Yeah, so see these old buddies of yours commanding them in the Gaius War?
Yeah, little lovely.
Very fond of the Necrons, aren't you?
Yeah?
Because you're a bad person.
I'm not.
Evil.
I play the good guys. I'm the good one. For the great good.
So, nonetheless, I actually do really like the Nefritai. I hated them in the Gaius War because I had to.
Yeah.
But Necrons in general, I actually really like.
Yeah, same.
So, well, they're a good evil army.
Yeah,
You know.
they're just really evil.
Yeah, they are.
Like they're just there's no redeeming qualities, which almost makes them a bit like easier for me to play because you go, well, they're just horrible.
Yeah, you know, and that's cool.
Yeah,
you know.
there's nothing good about
Sometimes
them.
it's good to be the bad guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, Nefritai new list. The Monoliths have had a buff since the FAQ, so we were keen to get these field tested again, weren't we?
Yeah, yeah.
Now the Nefritai, I've actually got a massive army of Necrons. Really, it's about 4,000 points in fact.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to need some more stuff for 8th edition. So I don't have time to paint it myself with what's going on behind the scenes.
You guys have no idea.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
I am busy painting, but it's not Necrons. So I'll probably get Siege Studios to add the additional Lich Guard and Death Marks that I would like to have for the list.
Yeah.
Plus,
a lot more death marks. That's fun. So you can see we've left them out today because we gave you an example of what they could do last time. But we've got 5.
Yeah, 5's not enough. But I think if you actually had them in a high number, they could be really frightening.
Yeah, they could be that like intercept deep strike wall that they've got is very cool.
It is. It's very cool.
It's very cool.
So I think we need more destroyers. I'd like to have a destroyer cult. Yeah. So you've not used those before. I'd like to have some more Lich Guard with war scythes as well. Yeah. And some death marks. So we'll get those units added. So let us know if there's anything else that you Necron fans would like to see specifically. But I think by that point I can pretty much field most things in most configurations.
We've got the Catan and all that sort of stuff, don't we?
We've got a Catan.
You call it Catan. I call it Cetan.
You can call it the Cetan. It just sounds like a bad suntan though if you do that, doesn't it?
That's true. That's true. I probably
have you got a suntan? No, it's a Cetan.
Yeah, I got a Cetan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's only if you're in the sea.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very situational, that, isn't it?
Okay, let's talk about the list. So, 2,000 points or 1995?
Yeah, 1995, that's right. It's a good year.
Yeah.
Good year.
Yeah.
No, I don't know how old I was. No, that's again. I'm getting really distracted today. I'm going on holiday tomorrow, so I'm all like, woohoo! Battalion. We're running a battalion today. So my 2 HQ slots. I've got a Cryptek with a Staff of Light, and the Overlord or Sekhmet Ra. Yes. He's got his Resurrection Orb and a War Scythe. Troops choices, we've got 2 units of 5 Immortals with the Gorse Blasters, and then we've got 2 units of 10 Necron Warriors in there as well. I've got a Lich Guard, so I've got 5 of them in there, so they're the kind of Honour Guard for Sekhmet.
And they are good, actually.
Yeah, they're very good. They're very good. You need 10, in my opinion.
Yeah, you want to make this unit a bit beefier, but I've only got the 5 painted, so...
For now. But still, they're still very good. I'll make sure I remember it's not Savior Protocols with the Necrons. It's the
Reanimation protocols.
No, it's the rule that they can use to take wounds.
Oh yes, that's
it's
right.
It's like the Royal Guard or something like that. Forgive me, I've forgotten off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But I'll make sure I get that right this time because it's not like the Savior Protocols. It's per wound rather than instead of damage. So instead of normal damage rather. Anyway, in my fast attack, because I just had some few points, I've just got 3 scarabs there. I've got it's hardly a swarm, although it says here it's called a swarm. It's more like a gathering.
Yeah.
Gathering of scarabs. I've got 2 monoliths.
Yeah.
A gathering. I am funny. I'm very funny. We've got 2 monoliths. Now I'm excited to use these because now they're 3+, and if you move them, there's no negative.
Yeah.
So, right.
Ballistic skill hitting on 3. So whereas before it was inexplicable before why they were hitting on 4s anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
So it's good now,
Yeah,
and they pump out some serious firepower.
Yeah. No. Now I think, hello, what's going on here? This is quite nice.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be good. I'm really excited. And then 2 night sides in there as well. So this is the second time I've used them in 8th or 3rd. Might be the 3rd. I can't remember. You guys probably will remember. So I've got more of a handle on these guys right now. I think against this list, against the NIDS list that you bring, will be interesting. Like I've got more of a gun line really with this sort of list.
Yeah.
I do have the ability to teleport and all that sort of stuff. However, I think that might be a little foolhardy.
Yeah.
Given I've seen what those gene stealers can do, and it's not nice.
No.
It's not nice at all. So this will be cool. I think we were saying off camera that it's quite cool putting Necrons and Tyranids together because they're both like the great devourers of the universe.
That's right.
Like these guys are just this encroaching death, whereas the Tyranids are they're absorbing everything for biomatter, and it's just it's like the 2 kind of negatives of the universe getting together and having a Barney, which I think is really cool. So thematically, fluff wise, in my head anyway, I think this will be sweet.
I agree. Now the only thing which saddens me as the Myrmidon player is that you don't really have any biomass to consume.
No. This is like junk food for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, empty calories.
Okay, McDonald's coming up. Myrmidon time. Your favourites.
Yeah.
That's the Myrmidon.
Is it?
Yeah. So.
I don't know why that makes me feel so weird. Years of watching Alien as a child, maybe.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. The trauma. So, Myrmidon are here. Brand new list for you, Lucky Ducks. This is quack. This is one of many new lists, new configurations that Myrmidon can do now. I had the additional bits here painted up by Siege Studios. They did a great job matching my existing paintwork, which is awesome. And I've got a battalion detachment. It's 1998 points. Let's kick off with the troops, because these are of course a unit which everyone's very interested in at the moment in 8th edition, and that is the Gene Stealers. So I've got 3 units of 10 Gene Stealers. Now generally speaking, I think it would be better to run these guys in larger broods. I don't quite have the models for that in this type of list. I think more often than not you'll probably see me run them, if I was going maybe a little bit more competitively, in units of 20. That's not what this list is. We're trying out the 2 monoliths, and this I think will be quite an interesting matchup.
Yeah.
So what we've got is 3 units of 10 Gene Stealers. I have given them the toxin sacks, which means that they do 2 damage on wound rolls of 6, and in addition to that they have their rending claws, which means on the wound roll of a 6 it's a -4 to the AP. So basically 2 damage, and against most things no save, so that's pretty cool. Now if they stay at a brood strength of 10 or more, they get an additional attack, hence that's why it's good to have much larger units than 10 to ensure that buff stays around longer. But even without the additional attack, they still are rocking loads of attacks anyway, so it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. Well, it is if you're playing them.
Yeah, it is. Fast little critters as well, and they can advance and charge, so it's going to be very cool to see how they do against the Necrons here, firepower heavy Necron army. We've then got 2 units of Hive Guard. These units are incredible in this edition now. I've given them the Impaler cannons. They do hit on 3s. They are 2 shots at strength 8 each, -2 off the top of my head and damage D3. But here's the kicker. They ignore any cover, Not that cover will probably come up much on this map, if at all, but they not only ignore any cover, they ignore line of sight. So they don't even have to see you, and Myrmidon's bio ammunition will come and find you and eat you.
Yeah, well, they've been eating some chow by the look of it.
They have.
Yeah.
Yep. So they're seeker missiles.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So there you go. So it's very clever.
Yeah.
So 2 units of Hive Guard. Very cool. Big fan of these units. They have performed well, apart from one game where I rolled absolutely atrociously and then rolled really well in the last turn.
Yeah, but that last turn, man.
That last turn.
It was surgical. It was just.
It's methodical, wasn't it?
It's one of those things, because I was obviously on the receiving end of that, and you just kind of sit there going, I can't argue with that. That was tasty.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was the perfect turn.
Yeah.
Some would say that I'd planned it all along, of course.
Yeah, of course. Well, I wouldn't be surprised.
I just got lucky, as usual.
Yeah, exactly. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. So, look, let's see how the Hive Guard do in this game, hopefully with a little bit more average luck this time. Then we've got 2 Forge World Malanthropes. These guys were good in 7th edition, pretty much often seen in every Tyranid army in 7th edition. I suspect that they'll probably be seen in every Tyranid army in 8th edition. They're still very good. Yeah. The -1 to hit. Venomthropes do the same thing, but these guys are synapse creatures. Again, they're not that many more points. They're pretty tasty in combat, have the ability to potentially do mortal wounds as well. Really, really big fan of the Malanthropes.
Yeah, I think they're much better.
Yeah.
Than they were much, much better.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can see your argument for that.
Yeah.
You can actually get 2, or up to 3, in fact, as a single HQ slot. You have to deploy them within 6 inches of each other when you start, but then they move off independently. Yeah. So this particular battalion has 3 HQ slots, because we're then rocking the Swarm Lords. Awesome conversion done there by Siege, so he's leaping up in the air. I really like that. What a beast. This is the new apex predator of Myrmidon himself. Itself. So what we've got, Swarm Lord is just, a unique character for the Tyranids, so we can't give him any upgrades, but suffice to say, he's an absolute monster in combat, and with his Hive Commander ability, he can either make himself move twice, or he can give that ability to another Tyranid unit within 6 inches. So can synergize well with other fast-moving units like Gene Stealers and just get a first-turn charge off. No problems.
Yeah.
Really now, what I've done here in this list, because I think it's really fun, and also it does have teeth, is I put the Swarm Lord in the Tyrannocyte. And the Tyrannocyte is the Tyranid version of a drop pod. It's also pretty good. It's got lots of shots. I've got 5 Death Spitters on it currently. And, when you're delivering something like a Swarm Lord into the enemy's face turn 1, and that enemy knows that your Swarm Lord is basically guaranteed its charge turn 1, that is obviously something which you'll get your opponent's attention with that, and that's your tactic. Yeah. That's going to be fun. And then what we have finally is we have 2 units of Tyrannofex. Now, these are the big monster Tyranids. Now, no doubt some of you would have already written comments, oh dear, Lawrence, why don't you have exocrines? Well, I've sort of answered that in an on-demand video before. I'll say it for you guys' benefit now. I don't have exocrines for a couple of reasons. One, when I got the commission done by Siege, the exocrines were sold out everywhere. Why were the exocrines sold out everywhere? Because they are that good. Yes, I'm aware of how good they are. Yes, they are better than Tyrannofex. Yes, you'll probably see most 8th edition armies having at least 2. Some are going to have a lot more, and maybe even stick them on a Sky Shield landing pad with Malanthropes. Now, that's not really my style with Myrmidon. I would, and probably will, get 3 exocrines at some point, but I didn't want to invest in a unit which, compared to, and this is my opinion of course, compared to the Tyrannofex, the exocrine, the reason he's so good, he's probably a little undercosted for what he does. The Tyrannofex is also supposed to be an artillery beast, but doesn't seem to do the job as well. And yet, off the top of my head, he's actually more expensive, so that doesn't seem quite right. So I suspect that actually when the Codex comes out, I'm not going to invest in these units which, and I'm going to jump on the bandwagon, if you like, before a Codex actually drops, because you don't know what Games Workshop are going to do, make a change-wise. And if anything, I suspect that these guys probably might even get a bit better. They're not terrible units now, actually. No. They've got a potential of 40 strength 5 shots. I have gone for the Flesh Borer Hive setup, so if they're static, they can shoot twice, which is nice.
Is that per
Tyrannofex?
40.
40, yeah. So if they stay still, it's 20 strength 5 shots at 18 inches. but if they stay still, they can shoot again. So it becomes 40 strength 5 shots.
Shoot twice.
That's right.
Okay.
But unlike the Exocrine, who can also shoot twice, the Exocrine gets a +1 to his ballistic skill, inexplicably. If he remains static, whereas these guys don't get that. And that all of a sudden makes it, if these guys were hitting on 3s, it would make a huge difference. The Exocrine hits on 3s with his 6 strength 7 minus his -2 damage D3 shot, so all of a sudden it's 12 strength 7. But you know, they are very good. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, I'm not going to invest in Exocrines before the 8th edition codex comes out. It's just as simple as that. If when the codex comes out they're still just as good or better for some reason, and these guys stay the same, then I'll get some Exocrines. You know? And then you can see them in Myrmidon if you want to see a bit more of a competitive Tyranid army. Yeah. But there you go. That's it. That's the army. Oh, I should cap it off. Of course, I've got a Broodlord. He's the big gene stealer sort of patriarch there, the mama gene stealer. He makes all of the gene stealers better at what they do, making them hit easier. Plus he's a monster in combat himself. Plus he's also a psycho, which is nice. Yeah. And he's a synapse creature, which, you know, Tyranids like. So that's the force. Really fun force. Like everything we do here, it's still got teeth. It is still strong. It's not over the top, but it is. I think it's a good army.
I really like it.
Yeah, and I think we should have quite an interesting game here against the Necrons today.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see how we go.
Let's see. So it's mission coming up next. Here we are, team. The forces are deployed. Myrmidon here. The voracious predator. The Nefritai opposite them. Vanguard strike deployment, and the mission is deadlock. Hence here we have the 6 objectives strewn across the battlefield, represented by the Tesla coils there. And currently Myrmidon have finished deploying first, so we're using the updated match play rules. Technically speaking, it's not 100% official yet because GW haven't released a new chapter approved. However, they have released some snippets of it, and the tournament scene, some of the big tournaments in the world are now deploying this tactic as well, or this rules change. So we thought, why not? You know, if it's going to be a change to match play rules, we know it's coming, let's start using it. So what that means is, because I deployed first, I don't automatically go first, as per this chapter approved. What happens is I get a +1 to my roll. So for you guys that aren't familiar with that, that's how it works. Which is quite cool because it means that you don't necessarily have to start building an army with fewer drops to try and guarantee the first turn alpha strike, because you know you could lose the roll off anyway.
Yeah, that was stressing me out.
Yeah, it's a stressful thing. So, so that's cool. So we're going to roll off. Bone, do we have a dice, please?
I do.
And may you grab me a dice as well, please.
Sure.
I'm going to roll now here for your viewing pleasure.
I'm going to give you this cursed pearl dice.
It gives me a cursed pearl die. Okay. Now we're going to roll off here. So the spider.
It's an anti-curse. No, I can't.
That means
win.
you can't win.
Yeah,
you can't beat it.
Good. Really good start.
So what that means is, now you cannot use a command point reroll on that roll, apparently. But you can use a command point reroll on the Seize of the Initiative. Now, currently, I've got first turn guaranteed because if the maximum he can roll is a 6, and I've technically rolled a 7 because of the +1. Now, Bone, do you wish to seize the initiative, sir?
I do.
He does. Okay. Mr. Bone.
I see your curse.
He sees my curse.
With a 6!
With a 6! Well, the fates have spoken here. They granted Bone the luck of the seas, and then took from him that luck in the draw of his first 6 cards.
Yeah, it was a really great draw.
Would you like to explain why this is such a great draw?
Yeah,
Mr.
sure.
Bone?
So, okay, so first of all, I got Master of the Warp.
Right, that's Necrons, so that's great,
yeah,
right?
So that's really helpful. I got Kingslayer, which will be helpful later, but obviously not today. I got Secure Objective 2 and Defend Objective 2. Now, if we'd like to just pan across over here. Yeah, I'm pan across. Do you see that one right at the edge there?
Oh, wait, you mean this one here in my deployment zone?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. As far
is that
away
objective
from me
2?
as possible. It is, mate.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, isn't it
just... Oh, that's fantastic.
Isn't that just great?
Yeah, okay.
And then I got Domination, which is...
Holding every objective on the board.
Every objective on the board.
Great,
Yeah,
good.
Cool, so that's not happening. And I got behind the enemy lines. I could, potentially, get behind enemy lines if I wanted to.
Yes, you could. You could.
I'm not entirely sure that's a very good idea.
Right.
I'll have to think about my tactics, as it were.
But you do have Kingslayer, which is good. I don't have my Warlord on the table right now, the Swarm Lord, but Kingslayer's a good one to have in hand.
Yeah.
But yes, I agree. That was a really dud draw, wasn't it? So
what
a bit of a
an
shame there.
anti-climax.
Now, he could use 2 command points to redraw 1 immediately. He could do that. And yes, I know that there'll probably be some comments saying you should house rule that you can just redraw ones that are impossible. Yeah, look, that is a possibility. However, we haven't been doing that by default. We've been using a standard 40k rule set, and the only thing with a house rule is it kind of takes away from that 2 command points, to redraw 1, because that should be, worth something, right? So we're currently just sticking with it as it is. If he does want to redraw 1, you definitely sure you don't want to redraw 1?
Yeah, not for 2 command points.
Not for 2 CP.
Because I mean, all I could potentially get is one point, really. I mean, unless I got something like Ascension, but that's a big old risk.
Right. So you're
Ascendancy rather, not Ascension. Yeah. I'm done. No.
Okay.
I'll just leave it.
You can always do it later if you need to.
Yeah, and the thing is, these will come on.
Yeah, and you can discard
anyway.
one at the end of this turn anyway.
Cool.
So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fair enough. That's the lay of the land. Let's let him do his movement phase, and we'll come back to you. Movement phase for the Nefritai complete now. We can see the Tyranids look on to the 2 night sides as they scream across the battlefield. Necron warriors ominously marching ahead of their monoliths. This monolith didn't move at all, did it?
No.
Okay, this monolith did edge forward slightly.
Yeah.
Okay, very, very slightly. He doesn't really have too much in range. Obviously, he's a little bit a little bit nervous about moving the force towards the swarm of Tyranids, but he does have some big guns in range. And I took a bit of a risk about going first. I couldn't quite squeeze everything in to get everything within the 3-inch bubbles of these Malanthropes. So currently my Hive Guard unit here is exposed, as are these Gene Stealers here on the right flank. Plan was, of course, because I had to put these 2 within 6 inches of each other, you see, when I deployed them. So the plan was, of course, if I went first, which I was likely to, I would have just moved the Malanthrope out here, and then everything would have been in a nice bubble. But he seized. Very cheeky.
Yes.
It is his shooting phase coming up next. No psychic phase. Let's see if he can secure first blood. First of the incoming fire now. This night side, it's Tesla cannons opening up against the Hive Guard unit here, screaming Tesla across the battlefield. 6 shots. They are assault weapons, so no -1 for when they're moving.
It's assault 4, so I've got 2 of them.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, so 8 shots.
8 shots, of course,
yeah.
yes, sure, of course. So 8 shots coming up. It's 3s to hit. Right, shame he didn't get any 6s here.
Damn.
6s would have been 2 additional hits in addition to the hit that he would have gotten. Okay, still, that's fine. Roll to wound. It's 3s to wounds. Right, so he's got 3 wounds there. Okay, now the Hive Guards are saves of 4+. There's no minus on this weapon. We make 1, we fail 2. That is 2 wounds down on the Hive Guard, but they are tough critters. They are 3 wounds apiece, so 1's still alive. Next Night Scythe opens up against the same unit of Hive Guard now. Bone knows how powerful this unit can be.
Yeah, I've seen it. I don't like it.
In action.
It must die!
As Dai says, right, he's missed with 2, but he has got 2 6s now, so you see the proper power of the Tesla, so
Excellent.
2 additional hits in addition to the 6 there.
Yep, so another 4 dice.
Yeah. 1 to win. 3s is what he wants. 3s is what he gets.
Bosh!
All but 1, so an extraordinary roll. Let's see if we can meet that with our armor saves. 4s are what we want here.
That's not
1,
bad.
2, 3, 4. Well, 5. Okay, so we passed 5, we fail 4. So that kills 1. And then with the 3 additional wounds would kill another. So that's 2 Hive Guard lost already. Out. The Monolith now, first of them at any rate, opens up with its Gauze Flux Arcs against the Gene Stealers down here. So talk us through this.
The Monolith is equipped with 4 Gorse Flux arcs.
Yep.
And they are heavy 3, so that's 12 shots.
Cool.
All in there.
And as per the latest GW FAQ, the Monolith now has 3 up to hit and it's 4 wounds, not 4. So there we go.
That's what I'm talking about.
3's to hit. Alright.
Cool, not bad.
Not bad. Strength is
5.
5. Cool, so this is 3 to wounds. Gene Stealers are toughness 4. Okay, and it's a -1, isn't it?
It's -2.
-2. Of course, it's the heavier version. Okay, in which case, the Gene Stealers normally wouldn't get a save, but Gene Stealers have something called Lightning Reflexes, which gives them a 5+ invulnerable save.
That's so good, isn't it?
It is very useful. We do make 3 saves, and we fail 1, 2, 3, 4 saves. 1 dice landed over there. So, 4 Gene Stealers are slain. And that's it, folks. No points achieved. He didn't secure first blood at the end of that turn. The majority of his forces out of range, but he has severely depleted one of the alpha units and the main firepower units in this force. He's hurt these Gene Stealers. There's no morale phase because I am still within synapse range of the Malanthrope. It's just I was just out of the 3-inch bubble for the -1 to hit on the Hive Guard. So that's the lay of the land. It stung that he took the first turn from me, but he didn't have a great draw of cards, so hopefully I can use that to my advantage now. See what cards I get, see if I can capitalise and try and get a Maelstrom lead. And don't forget, from orbit descends the deadly Tyrannocyte, and the apex predator, the leader of Hive Fleet Myrmidon, will descend into his battle lines shortly and hopefully destroy this Nefritai Dynasty for good. It's movement phase turn 1 for the Tyranids now, and we actually did draw a good hand here. Behind enemy lines, defend objective 1, secure objective 2, which is actually in Bone's deployment zone, Kingslayer, Supremacy, and secure objective 1. And as I pan up here, well, we know that objective 1 is all the way over here. That's the one that Bone was drawing. So I've actually already got 1 point for that now, and I'm halfway towards getting the defending of it as well. So the Hive Guard have stayed there. Didn't want to move for the minus on our heavy weapons, plus we can hold that objective. 2 Tyrannofex have moved up though, with the Malanthropes here in a bubble, providing Synapse and of course the -1 to hit. All 3 of the Gene Stealer units actually rolled a 4 to their advance, as did, funnily enough, the Broodlord. Although this unit did roll a 1, and then I used a command point to re-roll it. So I'm sitting on 5 command points right now. This member of the Hive Guard is still within 8-inch synapse of this Malanthrope. Didn't move, but just wants to hold this objective. So currently we've got 3 objectives here, and that means that we do have ascendancy guaranteed at the end of this turn as well. Well, I should say supremacy rather. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I think we are going to get a nice little lead in Maelstrom objectives this turn. Hopefully that's something that we can capitalise on and will make Bone suffer for later in the game. We'll have to see. But the main story of this turn so far is, of course, the Tyrannocyte has deployed. The Swarm Lord is now out to play. Nearest unit is this Immortal unit here. I've got a reason, a method to my madness for that, but we're applying some pressure here on the right flank. Let's see if we can make this work now. It is the Psychic phase coming up next. We're in the Psychic phase, and the Swarm Lord now casts Smite, the nearest unit being the Immortals. So, rolling to cast. It's a 10, so it definitely goes off. It's luckily not the D6 mortal wounds.
Yeah, which you normally do.
Yes, but it is the D3 mortal wounds. So, D3 mortal wounds on these. It's 2, I'll keep that. So 2 of them are destroyed, Mr. Bone.
Splat.
And unfortunately, mortal wounds, as per the FAQ, you cannot roll reanimation. No, sorry, forgive me, you can. It's fleeing models. Yeah. You can't roll reanimation protocols for. So that's just one for the notebook. So he's got 2 of those that are destroyed. He does get reanimation protocols if the unit does survive the rest of the turn. Next up, we're going to cast Catalyst, and that ignores wounds of any type on the Swarm Lord himself on the roll of a 5 up. So let's see if we get Catalyst off. An 11, yes, most definitely goes off, no issues there. The Broodlord now can also manifest a psychic power. He is going to cast Smite on this flyer here. So Smite coming up. Goes off on a 6. Let's see if we can get the 3 mortal wounds. It's 2, so 2 mortal wounds down on that flyer. More carnage now in the shooting phase. The Tyrannocytes, this horrible, ominous floating drop pod here, spilling mucus and bioacid in its wake.
Tasty.
Yeah. Opens up with its death spitters. Spitting death bone. Yeah.
I don't like it.
On the immortals.
What is dead can never die.
Okay, well, let's see if we can prove that. Death spitters, 3 shots each, and this Tyrannocyte has 5 of them, so quite extraordinary amount of firepower, except if you roll like a dog, doesn't really matter. So 2 hits.
Is that it?
That's it.
Oh,
So he hit on 5s, just to let you guys know. Now, it is strength 5, so he does wound you on 3s, of which only 1 wounds, and it's a -1. So,
cool, so 4 up.
Can he make his save? I'm tempted to use a command point here.
That's 2 down.
It would be 2 down because then I could get the. You know what? I'm going to do it. It is a wound, so I now force you to make 2 saves. I'm hoping that he fails both here. There is a method to my madness. No, he does the opposite. Double 6.
That's what I'm talking about.
So 4 command points left. That unfortunately does still create that bubble for my Swarm Lord to make it much more tricky for him to get around. So it looks like we're stuck with them there. As a result of that, this Hive Guard, the Lone Hive Guard, will target the Immortals. Remember, he doesn't need line of sight. So what we want here is a double hit, a double miss.
No.
Oh dear. More shooting now. Let's see if we can actually do something remotely good. These Impaler Cannons will target the Flyer. Now, they do have a -1 to hit, but they do, they're better bio creatures than most for the Tyranid army, so they do normally hit on 3s, so now it's 4s. And we've got a fairly decent roll here. So, in fact, it would have all been hits if we were targeting something normal. So, 4 hits. Now, we are strength 8. And I believe your toughness is 7, or is it 8, Bone?
On the night side, I think it's only 6.
Okay, well, I'll just roll now anyway, just to see what we get.
6.
Okay, so we roll 2 1s. We've got 2 wounds, though, however. So 2 go through. Believe we're talking -2 here for the Impaler Cannon.
Cool, well, I'll just roll more while you check that.
Yeah. Mr. Bone making some armour saves here. It's got a 1 and a 5. Well, the 1 will definitely be a fail. And is your armour 3 up or 4 up
3
normally? Up. Okay, fine. So the definitely 1 failed and definitely 1. Okay, so damage D3 because it was a -2. And we get 2 more wounds. Here we go, Flesh Borer Hives now. 20 shots because he did move. Can't do the static shots. 20 shots up at the Flyer. Now, he is only ballistic skill 4, unfortunately. So hitting on 4s. But, you know, we have got 20 shots. It is -1 to hit, but we're looking for 5. So let's see if we can get some hits here. We get 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah, not bad.
And then what we are unfortunately looking at, again, you are toughness 6, right?
That's right.
We need 5s again. So we are sort of grasping at straws a little bit here, but we do get 2 more wounds. So we're hoping for...
Is there a minus on this?
It's no minus, so you're just taking your straight up saves, but if 1 goes through... one goes through. So it's another wound down, he's on 7 left. Okay, so 20 more shots now at this Monolith? No, Night Side even. If we get 1 more wound down on it, it will be degraded, so it'll be not as accurate as it was before. So second Tyrannocyte opens up. Looks like we've got some more hits here, that's good. Okay, let's see if we can get some wounds on this thing. Force it to only the 1 wound, so we need to get lucky here.
Come on.
And he does save. Okay, so it is still fully operational. And that is now the shooting phase concluded. I have activated the Hive Commander ability on myself. Now I've gone up here, and the reason I've positioned myself here is that I've just done some pre-measuring. If I declare a multi-charge on both of the Warriors and the Monolith, now obviously I can't get through this, we're classifying this as impassable for him. What I can actually end up doing is coming round here, placing myself here, and then I'll be able to attack both. Now actually I'll probably just attack, I'll only do the 1 attack on the Warriors there, and I'll do the rest of my attacks on the Monolith. But what it would mean is that I could potentially destroy the Monolith in 1 round. He is a pretty mean combatant, this Swarm Lord, and it is the better play. However, it would be a 7-inch charge. It would be a 7-inch charge to make both, so that is something that we have to bear in mind here. That's why I wanted to get rid of at least 2 more of those. If I got rid of 2 more of those, I would have been very comfortable in making it against the Monolith, but that's not the way it played. So that is the shooting done. See a charge phase coming up next. So we're in the charge phase, so let's do it. Swarmlord declaring a charge against the Monolith and the Immortals.
Good, so Immortals first.
Okay. One hit. Now normally the Monolith's Portal of Exile could go off doing D6 mortal wounds against something that charges a model that charged it and ends within 1 inch, but it doesn't affect monsters, unfortunately, or vehicles. It has to be infantry, so as according to the FAQ. So there we go. No wounds, no wounds. Yes, okay. Now the Monolith has got a lot of fire. Let's do that next. Gorse Particle Casters now from the Monolith. Bigger guns, more dangerous. It's got a hit. He's got a hit. Still is 5s to wound, no wounds, no dice. Okay.
Okay,
the
so
particle whip.
This is where we want 6
shots.
Sixes.
Big fan of this. Big fan of this. So it's hitting on 3s, no hits. Normally hitting on 3s, hitting on 6s on the Overwatch. Okay, so we've weathered that. It is now time for us to charge. The spider rolls a 10. Very good. Would make it under any circumstance there. That's just what we wanted. Next charge. This Gene Stealer unit now 9 inches, 9-inch charge away from the Warriors. So some more Overwatch coming up here. Some of which will be rapid fire. Let's work that out. 15 Gauze blaster shots coming at the Gene Stealers.
2.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Cool. 2. That is 2 wounds, and it's just a lightning reflex save. Is it -1 or 2? Well, double 6. Spider does not care about that. Okay. So the Stealers now for Myrmidon into the Warriors. Well, would you like me to re-roll this 5, sir? I'm going to re-roll it because it was rather precarious.
Okay. Fair enough.
So I'm going to call that a cocked die. So we've got a 5 plus a 5, 6, 7. Well, okay. This is where I will use a command point again.
Now you have to roll both, isn't that right? Or can you just you have to roll both for rerolls?
Both dice for a reroll?
I believe so.
No, the command point I can reroll any single die. I'm not rerolling a failed charge here. They don't have that ability. This is just a command point to reroll the single die bone.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you read something which indicates otherwise?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
I'd need to double check it though. I thought that
Yeah.
you couldn't do that. Should we just double check real quick?
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Right, so we have triple checked for your viewing pleasure, because we do like to try and get the rules right in this ever-expanding, ever-FAQ game. So it's hard to keep up with.
Yeah, I got confused with the where it says if you roll multiple dice,
yes,
then you have to actually re-roll both of them. Where it says if the rule states.
Yes, unless the rule states otherwise. So the commands re-roll. So it's quite possible that this may have confused some other people as well. The command stratagem does specifically state a single die, so that is all that I can re-roll in this instance. But let's say that I could re-roll failed charges. I couldn't re-roll my failed charge, fail it, and then use a command re-roll on the re-roll, because you're not allowed to re-roll a re-roll for any reason, it says.
Yeah.
So, okay, now I rolled a 5, and I'm now going to re-roll the other die that I rolled, which was a 2. Which again is a 2. So after all of that, we fail the charge.
By the way, everyone, we just went off for about 15 minutes to try and just triple check all this, and he just rolled a 2 again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what a waste of time.
Yeah, great.
Well, that just brings us to the assault phase then, doesn't it, folks? So we don't have anything else in the charging range this turn. So the Swarmlord now has 7 attacks, but I did give him Legendary Fighter, so he's got 8 attacks. The additional attack I will actually put on the Immortals here, and one of my attacks must be made with the Prehensile Tail. So I will use the Prehensile Tail for that single attack against the Immortals, because really it's just a token gesture. I just did that so that I could maneuver a little bit easier and get into combat with both the units there. So that does leave our 7 attacks against the Monolith, hitting on 2s, of which we hit with all but 1. So we've hit 6 times. Now we are strength 8. Swarmlord is a whopping strength 8 at 4 wounds. However, he is toughness 8. So we want as many 4s, 5s and 6s as possible. We get 3. That is the average. I'm not going to complain with that. Now I'm very tempted to use yet another command point in this phase, leaving me with just 2 left remaining. But I think every wound that I get here counts. So I will actually do it. No, not that it matters. Okay, so we've only got 2 points left remaining. We've got 3 wounds that go through. We are -3 to your saves. So I believe that gives you 6 up saves, sir. 6 up saves on the Monolith. No, okay, so that is damage-wise. I'm not sure if we can actually destroy the Monolith, although it is damage D6. 3d6 damage, folks.
No.
This is where we want something hideous, don't we?
Yeah.
666 from the spider. No, in fact, really a below average roll there, tremendously below average. So only 7 wounds down on that Monolith. Is that even enough to degrade it, sir?
No.
Oh dear. Looks like we've had another whiffer, folks. Right, we still got the prehensile tail, and I can't use the reroll, so I use the reroll on the wound. Prehensile tail on the warriors, or the immortals rather. 1 hit. Can we wound? It's a 2. I don't believe that is a wound. Oh no, your toughness is 8, isn't it?
No, on the immortals it's 4.
But prehensile, sorry, toughness is 4, I mean. But prehensile tail is strength 6, so we don't even wound with that. This Swarm Lord has basically done nothing. Well, folks, that marks the end of Tyranids turn 1. We do have some things to roll for, namely Supremacy, where we do have 3 objectives at least, so we get D3 points. We get 2 points for Supremacy. We also did get Secure Objective 1, so that's 1 point there. And we're halfway towards Defend Objective 1. Behind enemy lines, that's having 1 victory point if I've got at least 1 unit within the enemy's deployment zone. I do, so I get that as well. So we're on 4 points so far. Haven't got Secure Objective 2, haven't got Kingslayer. I think at this stage... Yeah, I might discard Secure Objective 2, I think, actually. I'm going to discard it. I'm not sure that I'm going, not convinced I'm going to get that. Rather draw a different card. But it does end the turn on 4 points. The Immortals are leadership 10. They cannot fail their morale checks. There's no point in them rolling for it.
Secure Objective 2, did you say?
Secure Objective 2, yes, which is...
This is Objective 2 here.
Oh, this is Objective 2?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was Objective 1 you said. So and what's this? This is Objective 1.
That's Objective 1.
Right, so in
So it's
actual
the other way
fact,
around.
let's reverse this.
Yeah.
I've got Secure Objective 2, so we've still got the same points, which is 4 points.
Yeah.
However, the Defend Objective 1 we're not on our way towards. So what we'll do is we'll discard Defend Objective 1. So that's no problem. So we've still got Secure Objective 1, but we've got 4 points this turn. And ultimately, this is one of those turns where I think, you know, I've played the best turn that I could with the resources I had at my disposal, and unfortunately the averages just didn't pan out. This should be severely damaged now. It's not. I should have, coulda, woulda, right? Should have hopefully just damaged this one to degrade it. We didn't, so we haven't secured First Blood. He's still fully operational now. That could be a real problem. Let's see what happens in his turn 2 coming up next. Beginnings of the Necrons turn 2 now. He's used the living metal to regenerate a wound here and regenerate a wound here. Plus he has to roll for reanimation protocols on the 2 fallen immortals, one of which comes back, one of which is destroyed. Necrons turn 2. He's still got the same hands that he had last turn, but it's looking brighter now. The Night Scythe here has screamed across the battlefield, has now gotten behind enemy lines, and of course can still lay down withering fire. This Night Scythe has also come just up here next to this Hive Guard. Meanwhile over here, the bulk of the Nefritai forces are now ready to lay down a withering amount of firepower against the Genestealer wall. This unit obviously is a bit of a priority. No doubt these warriors will be going for that. You can see that Sekhmet Ra, Osiris Ra, his brother the Cryptek, and the Lich Guard have now come out to look at the Swarm Lord after this Monolith has fallen back. Scarabs even have come out to support as well. So no doubt going to be a lot of fire being channeled against that Swarm Lord, but he does at least have Catalyst. That's something that should help me out in the long run. So that's the lay of the land. Shooting coming up next. We need to weather this so that we can ensure Myrmidon's survival. Let's see if we can. We're in the shooting phase, and the warriors are opening up against the Genestealers. All rapid firing now. Looking for those 3s.
That Not bad.
Not bad at all.
So 4s now.
Okay. Good spread of wounds.
-1.
Sure. Lightning reflexes invulnerable save, so 5s. We make 2, we fail 5. There are 6 left. That will give 1 left remaining alive. More warrior fire now, targeting the Gene Stealers, who will be getting the Malanthrope's benefit of a -1 to hit.
What I'm actually going to do is start with the Immortals, because I'll still be able to shoot if I clear out them.
Sure.
I'd have to get lucky, but you know.
Okay. So that is 2 hits. No wounds though. Okay.
Cool.
Now on to the warriors. Yeah. So obviously no rapid fire here. She's just rolling normal. Right. So
not great.
Pretty much all of them would have missed ironically. Anyway, this is the weird thing. Okay. Now he's trying to get the wounds. 4s, 3 wounds. Okay. I want that to save ideally. Do you make 1 save? And I failed 2, so 2 slack. Big guns now. We're on the Monolith. The Monolith. What's the target priority here, Mr. Bone?
Okay, so 2 of the Gorse into this guy.
Okay, that's first blood.
Yes, I would. Some may say it's overkill. I just like to be sure of things.
That's right.
Everything else into the Swarmlord.
Right, okay. This is what we feared.
Yep.
You'll have to weather it. We'll have to have catalysts. Yep. Go off.
Die, bug, die. Oh no!
2 hits on the Gene Stealer.
No, that's not how you die.
Could be enough. There's only the 1 Ridley there. Dangerous time. Dangerous measures.
There's 1 wound.
Okay, that's interesting. It means the spider only
needs
to roll a 5 or a 6.
Have I? I'm going to use a command point here.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's going to use a command point.
Okay, that's better then.
So he's forced me to take 2 wounds now. Some would say that's rude.
Yeah, it's necessary.
Guess I'll just have to do a double 6 then, eh? That'll do. Double lightning reflex.
What's wrong with you?
Okay, so remarkably, this stubborn little critter will not die. He's obviously a patriarch in the making.
Yeah.
Brood Lord in the making. Alright, so 2 Gorse Flux Arcs at the Swarm Lord now. Okay, so there you go. The average is there 4 hits. Now, the tougher part is 5s to wounds, the Swarm Lords.
Nothing.
No wounds there. Okay. But you got the big guy now, the particle whip. The whip against the Swarm Lords. That's 4 hits. Okay. Again, averages. Now, I've worked out it. Average goes through. I should weather all of the shooting, forcing him to charge me when I've got my 5-up invuln and my catalyst save. But, you know, there's funny things can happen with dice. So, can he wound now? It's 3s. Right, 2 wounds go through. Okay. Now, I've got saves of 5+ invulnerable. I believe your particle whip's -2.
That's correct.
Yeah, which should basically force me to do my 5-ups anyway. Right, save. It's a good start. Night Scythe now into this lone Hive Guard. He's still seeking first blood. Didn't want to do everything at the lone Gene Stealer.
Yeah.
We did his chump. Okay. Right.
I may live to regret it.
Well, let's see what happens now.
That's very
good.
nice.
That's good.
That's what I wanted.
The sort of roll he's looking for. So despite the 2 misses, he actually gets 2, 4, 6 additional hits.
Yeah.
How unpleasant.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Right, now if he doesn't die.
Well, then we know that there's some sort of Grotty's playing mischief here.
Oh, Grotty.
Right. So an extraordinary turn of events there. Means that only 5 wounds go through, but it still is 5 wounds.
Yeah.
And I have a 4+ armor save for the Hive Mind. 2 go through, 3 fail. He only has 3 wounds, so he does get first blood. Now for the second Monolith. He's declared it. Every single weapon it has to offer at the Swarm Lord.
So, it's a bit rude.
It's a bit rude. Okay, let's see how this goes down.
Hang on.
So these are the Gorse Flux Arcs. Sure. Nice rolling.
Good.
Lots of hits. Now, the tougher part is 5 to wounds. He gets only 1. Okay, deserved a couple more there. But so far, so good. Can we save? Right, you -2, sir?
I am -2.
Yeah, so that is a failed save.
Good.
This just damage 1?
Just damage 1.
Okay, so first wound down on the Swarm Lord, so that
Catalyst?
leaves him with 11. Of course, we have Catalyst.
Why do I remind you of these things?
No wounds down on the Swarm Lord.
I'll never remind you again.
Particle Whip now on this Swarm Lord, the big gun. Will it tire? That's 3 miss.
Ugh.
Can he wound? 3s again are required, 2 wounds. Nerve-wracking stuff here. Okay. This Swarm Lord must survive for Myrmidon. No saves. No saves. That's 2d3 damage.
Okay.
That's a 1 and a 2 is what I mean, which is 1 wound, and then a 4, which is 2 wounds for 3 wounds total. Catalyst now passes 1, fails 2, so that is 3 wounds down in total on the Swarm Lord now. But we are luckily, with all of his shooting there now complete, over in this side of the battlefield.
Oh no, hang on, my Cryptek has
Your
a gun.
Cryptek has the Staff of Light. Okay,
Yeah.
let's do that then quickly. Coming up next.
Yeah. Just give me...
Osiris Ra, the Cryptek against the Swarm Lord now. Rolling to hit with the Staff of Light. 2 hits. Rolling to wound 1 wound. Minus
2.
I save with my shield, my 5+ invulnerable shield there, so the warp has protected. This Night Scythe now targeting the Hive Guard beneath him. I would like a bit of a whiffer here just to ensure that I've got some firepower left. Bone, of course, disagrees with that. However, I will take that. He does get 1/6 though, so it does translate into 2 additional hits, but that is still. Okay, only
terrible.
2 wounds. Okay,
Terrible.
I do get saves for this. 4s. Both failed though. Okay, so 1's left on 1 wound, but we are at least still alive. Charge phase now, and he's declaring a charge. The Swarm Lord doesn't have any Overwatch. For this game, I suggest that we do allow the Overwatch of his Smite, which does 3d6 damage.
Sure, leave a comment below.
Here we go. Or not.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Can you imagine the rage?
Oh yes. You can't do that.
Heads imploding. Well, it's just like it's my channel. I'll do whatever I want. Okay, we'll do Sekhmet first.
Yes. Okay. So Sekhmet, I don't know what he needs. Probably a 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Something very low. A 4. I'm sure that'll be fine.
Yeah.
We can measure to double check, I guess, if you like, just in case.
Shall we do it right now?
All right.
I can guarantee you it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. Fantastic.
Go
in Sekhmet goes, challenging the Swarm Lord. Okay.
That would look
It's a very cool fight.
Followed by his honor guard here.
Lich Guard now, and you did. We didn't say this at the beginning of the phase, but he did activate my will be done on them. Yes.
Yep.
So they get a +1 inch to their charge phase.
Yep.
Which is fine, yeah, absolutely fine.
Yeah, cool.
And they also get +1 to hits as well, which is pretty cool. So that would be useful for their Void Blades there, their Hyperphase Swords rather.
And then these
Scarabs. They actually failed the charge. They actually failed the charge.
Am I going to use a command point now? I've only used 1. Yeah, I am.
Okay, uses a command point.
They'll get in
That will make it. This is it, the assault phase, a big one. I need the Swarm Lord to boss it here. So he is striking first with his Hyperphase Swords, his Lich Guard opening up with a number of attacks here.
So I've got +1 to my hit.
Yeah, so they're hitting on 2s here, which is good. Very good, in fact. Okay, so yeah, pretty much all go through bar 2. And now the slightly trickier part is they are strength user, which is 5. I am toughness 6, so looking to see if we can get any wounds on 5s. Just the 1. Okay, that's the sort of luck I was looking for. He probably deserved 3 here, but he only got the 1. Okay, now the minus, I think it's 2.
Yes.
Okay, now, and the damage is 1, I believe. Now,
that's right.
I've got a rule called Blade Parry, which is very cool. Basically, it means I get a +1 to my invulnerable save. Not that I needed it, I rolled a 5 anyway, so I've succeeded on that save. Now, normally it would be his turn again. I have 2 remaining command points. I'm going to interrupt that combat now and strike with my Swarm Lords. It leaves me on 0 command points, but now this Swarm Lord can power up, and I'm looking for Sekhmet's hit. Swarm Lord now against Sekhmet Ra. All of the attacks, the pearl dice representing his prehensile tail, all hits. Okay, 3s to wound. He is a tougher critter than normal. We get 1, 2, 3, for 5 wounds with our sabres, fail with 1, and fail with the prehensile tail. So folks, we just cut just to check how the saves work for the Lich Guard again, just to double check that, because they can actually intercept wounds, but Sekhmet hasn't actually taken any wounds yet. So first up, he's got to do his saves with his phase shifters, exactly. Right, wow, he's failed 4. So he deserved at least, really, 2, maybe 3 there.
Yeah.
Okay, so 4 go through. Do you want to use another command point on 1, or I suppose at this point are you thinking it's not worth it? It's only a 50-50.
Yeah, but they're D6 damage, aren't they?
They are D6 damage. Okay. I don't have any command points of my own, but they are D6 damage, so yes.
Yeah, I'm going to use 1.
Okay, it's going to use 1.
I'm going to use 1, so that would take me down to 3 left.
Just to see if he could, exactly, reduce the effect further.
Okay, so that does...
It does pass? Okay,
does pass.
So it's a 5. So that is then 3d6 damage on Sekhmet. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wounds. Okay.
So how
does he only have 5 wounds?
Yes.
Right. So technically speaking, then this would kill Sekhmet, and if you do intercept, it would kill all of the Lich Guard as well.
Well, it's on a roll. I have to. It's on a 2-up that I can intercept these.
Right. But even if you, no, but you are 2 wounds apiece, aren't you?
Yeah.
So right. So you could then potentially survive. Okay. Yeah. So this is interesting then.
Okay. So how many? Right. You did 10. Is that
I did 10 in total.
I see.
Yeah.
Is that being a bit rude, is it?
Yeah, well, I think it's actually the average, really. Because if I'd rolled a 4 and 2 3s, it would be the same thing.
Okay.
Right. So you're trying to intercept these wounds on 2s, then, effectively, is what we're talking now. Okay.
So really, I should do these 2 at a time.
Right.
Because then one will die, one will die, one will die, one will die. If that makes sense.
Sure, but it would all be the same anyway, because you always have to take wounds from the same model.
Yeah, sure.
So you're absolutely right to just do it all at once.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah?
I think so.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to get 2s first. Yeah, I'm going to get 2s anyway.
2s. Okay, so 2 fail, so Sekhmet is wounded twice, is the moral of that story.
Yeah.
However, with 8, that means 4 of the Lich Guard are destroyed. Now for Sekhmet himself, to strike the Swarm Lord. Rolling to hit. He's got 4 attacks because he's got legendary fighter as well. That's what he picked. That's how Sekhmet rolls.
That's what he does.
So he got 3 hits. Okay. Now to wound. The strength 7, I believe, because he's strength 5 plus the plus 2 from the war side. So it's 3s. 3s are what he gets the 1. Okay. Okay. So he's already used the command points. We can't use the reroll here.
Okay. Did I use it or something lame as well?
Well, you didn't know to reroll a save, which actually did pass, because otherwise you would have taken another d6 wounds and maybe Sekhmet would be dead as well.
Yeah, right. So at least he gets to slap you back.
That's right. Now I save here on a 4 or more. I do not save. What's the damage on a war side? I have a feeling it's like a flat 2, but I could be wrong.
I think you're right, but
it could be something brutal like d6. Who knows?
Give me a sec. Okay.
Right. So it's damage 2. So that means that my catalyst now will hopefully go off. It does go off once, so I lose 1 wound. Scarab time now. Just the 3 of them, but they do hit on 3s, and they do have 12 attacks between them. So.
Yes. My gathering of scarabs.
The gathering of scarabs against the Swarm Lord, crawling up his tail and then the legs.
He won't be a Swarm Lord soon, when my gathering realises its true form, which is a swarm.
Okay, clever. Okay, so a few hits there. Now, the thing with the scarabs is they always wound on 5s.
Yeah, and I've got...
So they don't have any minus or anything like that, but they always
I have
wound
8.
on 5s. You've got 8.
So, now this is...
That's one for each wound I have?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so you're looking at all 5s and 6s.
8 5s and 6s.
Right. Good. That's a good roll on the list. So 4 wounds go through. Yeah, incredible.
Yeah, they do.
I passed 3 saves. Catalyst now. You don't have any minus, I'm assuming. I've just assumed that. Catalyst failed. You do take a wound from the Swarm Lords.
Yes.
Those nasty little Gribblies. And that's it, folks. The end of the turn. The Swarm Lord survives. Whew. Catalysts are paying off there. And we've nearly obliterated the Lich Guard. Damaged Sekhmet Ra himself. So, Bone, card-wise, what did you get at the end of that turn? So you've got First Blood with the Hive Guard. That's a point for certain.
Yeah, so I got behind enemy lines.
He's got behind enemy lines the Night Scythe, yes.
And that's it.
Okay, so First Blood and behind enemy lines puts you on 2 points to my 4 currently. So it's 4-2.
I'm going to get rid of
Domination, okay. 4-2. However, we are actually, believe it or not, those of you which are savvy would have worked this out, the Tyranids are actually on the back foot. We kind of really were, the minute he seized, it just went all downhill from there. We've lost one of our alpha units now, all of the Hive Guards obliterated. We really needed to have a better round against that Monolith, but that's not what happens. So if the Swarm Lord can keep bossing it, we're still in the game. We can get these Gene Stealers in to start causing more problems, we're still in the game, but really we need the Hive Guards to at least destroy one of these Night Scythes, because otherwise that's going to cause massive problems next turn. Let's see how this pans out. It's turn 2 for the Tyranids coming up next. Turn 2 for the Tyranids, mixed bag of a draw. Got overwhelming firepower and blood and guts. They're both possible. Domination, secure objective 1 still in play, and Kingslayer. And as we pan up here, the Tyranids has moved towards the Immortals here. Swarmlord has remained in combat. Gene Stealers, some good rolls on the advances here have dashed me further up the battlefield. This unit rolled really well, rolled a 5, so they're right near the Immortals there. Malanthrope also advanced up with them. This Tyrannofex has moved up to start to bring some central firepower to the middle of the board here. This one's remained stationary. He's actually within 18 inches and can see both of these Night Scythes. Current plan is if I can actually destroy this Night Scythe or severely damage it with the 40 shots from him, then potentially the Hive Guard can go and target this, for example, and we can try and do some big damage. But let's see what happens. I've left the Malanthrope back with these guys now. He is within 3 inches of them, of both of these units. So what's happening here is that they're getting a -1 to hit me if he targets them. Plus we've got Synapse back there as well. So pretty much now we're back in the game. We just need a good turn now, get some good assaults, get some good shooting off, and get some good psychic. So no further ado, it is the Psychic phase coming up next. Let's get on with this, people. We're in the Psychic phase and I'm casting Smite. Now, I'm equidistant with all 3 of these models, because all 3 of these units, because they're all in combat with me. So I'm going to choose to do my Smite. Setnet's got 3 wounds left, so it would be harder to kill him outright. Could try and finish him off in combat. Whereas the Lich Guard only has 2 wounds. So you know what, I'm actually going to Smite the Lich Guard.
Oh, okay.
So
if you can pass.
I can pass, he says.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
Well, that's
although for a minute it looked like I didn't.
Yeah.
So on a 7, I do pass. It's D3 mortal wounds. It's 1 mortal wounds. He's still alive. Next up, I will cast Catalyst. That goes off, and of course I was casting it on myself, so I've got that 5 up, ignore wounds. Right, next power I'm going to cast is the Horror. I gave the Broodlord the Horror. He can only cast 1 power a turn. I could go for Smite, but that would only kill a warrior or 2. I'm going to cast the Horror. I'm going to cast it on this Monolith here, so it would actually give it a -1 to hit, as well as a -1 leadership. That doesn't really matter, but I'll go for the -1 to hit. So let's try and debuff this. Fails to cast it anyway, so no worries. We're in the shooting phase now, and it's the Tyrannofex firing at the Night Scythe. So because he's static, he can actually shoot twice. So I do this in 2 batches of 20 here.
Good.
Now it is 5s to hit you because you are supersonic. But what I'm trying to do, no, didn't get the average at all. Okay, let's see if I can get the wounds. Do get 2 wounds. Peel 2 wounds out of that. Hopefully some can go through. 1 does go through. So he's got 7 wounds left, and I've still got another 20 shots left over. Second round of 20 now into that Night Scythe. We want to bring it down. But we are rolling under average. Okay. Can we get a wound? No, don't even get the wounds. So unfortunately, that was a shot. Well, desperate times, desperate measures. It's down to the Hive Guards. We must destroy this Night Scythe. Forced to hits. 3 hits is the average. 3s to wounds. 1, 2, and a 3 wound. Okay, so just above there. It's -2 to his saves, so he's got 5s and 6s for saves here. He makes 1, 2 go through, 2d3 damage, 3 and a 1, so that's 4 wounds down. Not enough to destroy him, but will now severely degrade him, which with that degradation should hopefully mean this backline can survive. 20 shots from this Tyrannocyte. Now he did move, so, or Tyrannofex rather, so he cannot fire twice, but he's going to be firing at this brood of warriors here. I'm going to start calling them broods now, why not? So he hits normally now on 4s. And he actually wounds on 3s. We can start to see where this weapon's actually supposed to be pretty good against infantry. Okay, so there we go, just above the average, I think. 9 wounds in total. Now you've only got the 4-up saves with these guys.
That's right. Is there any minuses?
No minuses, so you just take it as it comes. Good, not bad. Okay, so about half there. So 4 are destroyed. Tyrannocyte now, 15 shots into the Immortals. Does only hit on 5s, so just the 3. And then 3s to wound, 2 wounds. -1 to your saves here, so 4s is what he's looking for. Double 6, very nice. Genestealer Brood now, the big one, is charging this unit of warriors.
Rapid fire.
Rapid fire action coming up here. He's got 2. He's scored 2. Can he get the wounds? He can get 1 wound. Can we get a save? No, we can't. 1 Genestealer killed. We'll remove him. Okay, making a charge. Well, it's a 2, and we rolled a 6 there, just off the camera. So in they go. First successful charge. Next up, that means that the Broodlord in the making here will make it automatically without any Snapfire or Overwatch. So he's just going to move in. Now the Broodlord himself here, he's going to get cheeky. He's going to charge this unit of warriors here. So I have to be careful because I don't think he is a monster. I don't want to be within an inch of that monolith because then I could start losing d6 mortal wounds, which would be very unpleasant.
No, you just come over. Come a little closer. Come a little closer.
Come for hugs, huh? Right, first of all, he weather the Overwatch. It's got hits. Can he wound? I think it's 5s this time. It's got 6. That's all right. Let's see. Save wise, 4. Right. Not sure if the Broodlord actually has a 3-up armor save. Let's just check. So the big guy is only 4+ save, so that's 1 wound down. He's got 5 left. Now we want to make the charge with those warriors. Oh, it's an 11. We make it. Genestealer's over here on this flank into the Immortals now. This is where we just want to start powering up, crush these Necrons while we can. School's got some hits. It's not very nice. Got some hits, people. 2 wounds. 2 dead. And now to charge. In we go. So now the Tyrannocyte will charge the Immortals. So a bit of Snapfire coming up.
Nope.
No, okay, you can't really fail, but there it is, a 5, in he goes. This is the combat, folks. The Swarm Lord will attack Sekhmet. With 5 of his attacks, he'll put his other single bone saber and prehensile tail on the, that's all hit, folks, all hits, on the Lich Guard. So we've hit 5 times, that's an excellent start. We've wounded 3 times. Okay. No command points, but not sure I would use command points in that situation anyway. 1 failed. He's using a command point or not?
Yeah, I am. You're damn right I am.
Is the question. So it'll be the last that he can use this phase.
Yeah, it's
but
probably worth it.
This could mean Sekhmet's survival.
For the dynasty.
Unless he rolls a 2
Oh,
fails.
No!
Oh dear.
Oh no!
He's no. He's only got 3 wounds left. That would potentially mean he's dead. Now here's the interesting thing.
No, he is dead.
Oh, he is dead guaranteed.
Yeah.
Because even if you do make the successful 2-up with here,
Yeah.
oh, we've got him. Slay the Warlord. Sekhmet does fall. The Swarm Lord does prove he's a boss. Okay, interesting. We've then got the prehensile tail and the last attack against the Lich Guard. The Prehensile Tail is the Pearl die here. They both hit. Roll into wounds. Well, okay, double 6, they both wounds. I think in both instances your save will just be your invulnerable save, Mr. Bone. So he fails it. He's got no reroll. We destroy the unit. That is a significant victory there. The Swarm Lord just bossed it. Now let's see what these Gene Stealers can do, shall we? So they've got 3 attacks each. If they were a brood of 10, it would be 4 attacks each, which is insane. They are within 6 inches, strategically placed, of course, of the Brood Lord. So they add 1 to their hit roll. So they hit on 2s. This is the big unit against the Warriors here. So 2s to hits. Right. Pretty good. Well, not pretty good. Very good.
That's outrageous.
Yeah. Okay. Now, it is... Well, actually, we're only strength 4. So it's just 4s to wound, but 6s... Basically ignore your armour. They do have toxin sacks in this list. Not that it will matter against you. So right, 2 drop.
Okay.
And then the others, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wounds. In addition to that, the normal Rending Claw has a -1 to your save. So you've got to make 7 saves of 5 or more, Mr. Bone.
Do it in my sleep, mate.
In your sleep, very good.
Okay, so that was,
okay,
that
so
was like
6.
1. Yeah.
So 8 warriors drop in total there. That's from this unit here.
That's from this unit,
yes.
Of course.
So
I need to drop another 6.
True. Now, tactically, Bone, if you remove those 2 instead, it will mean that my hero Gene Stealer can't attack. So you may as well. There's just a bit of tabletop tactics there.
I thought they were all one brood.
Yeah, no, forgot. The hero one is, remember, he's the Brood Lord in training.
Right, of course.
So then he'll pile in 3 inches. But
so obviously I would have done that normally with my tactics, right?
of course.
Of course.
The Brood Lord now himself hitting on 2s. All but 1. Now he can actually reroll failed wound rolls with his monstrous... Right, I believe that's all wounded. I am strength 5, yes. You are only toughness 4. So, in fact, your save is only 4+ anyway, Bone. And I've got a -3 with D3 damage. So in fact, I drop 5.
I see.
Leaving only 1 left in the unit. Final charge attack here now. All of these Gene Sealers against those Immortals. Rolling to hit. They are within 6 of the Brood Lord. So they're hitting on 2s. That's a lot there.
3 misses though. You're losing your touch there,
I'm losing my touch. Yeah, it's true. I'll have to re-roll those in a minute. I can't physically pick them up. To wounds now. And I'll re-roll these. Okay, well you're right. I am losing my touch. Look at that roll.
Oh, wow.
Right, now 2 drop. Because actually, is it -3 or is it -4? Because if it's -3, you will get 6 ups. No, it's -4. So 2 indeed drop. Now, you are toughness 4 on the Immortal, so it is 4s to wounds. But actually, out of all of that, this is the funny thing: I only wound you 3 times. So, it is a standard -1. So you all need to
5s.
No, you get 3 up with the Immortals. That's a better save. So 4s, yes. Right, so 2 more do drop. It does leave 1, remarkably though, still alive. The Tyrannocyte now will attack these Immortals down here. We get D6 attacks, 3 attacks, hitting on 5s, 1 hit, wounding on 3s, no wounds. Okay, so that's all of the Tyranid stuff done. On to the Necrons next. 2 warriors in combat with the Gene Stealers now. Here we go.
Die.
1 to hit. Failed wounds though. Okay, so nothing there.
Okay, over here. Hero.
Okay, the Immortal hits. Can he wound? Yes, he can.
Die.
Yes, he kills 1 Gene Stealer.
Yes, he does.
1 Gene Stealer slain. The warrior against the Brood Lord hits. Can he wound?
Yes.
Yes, he can. Can he take a wound? No, he can't. Okay. Then you've got the Immortals against the Tyrannocyte over here.
Yeah. 3 hits.
Hits.
Oh, sorry,
Tougher
mate.
to wound these, so it's 5s now. 2 wounds. Tyrannocyte. 1 goes through, so he loses a wound. Okay.
Cool. Now I need just
And then 12 attacks for the Scarabs versus the deadly Swarm Lord who's been powering up.
The gathering of scarabs.
Gathering of Scarabs here. Deadly gathering of Scarabs. I actually think it would be very interesting run on mass, but that's another story for another time. Okay.
3s.
Yeah, that's the thing, because they're still accurate on those hits, you know, unlike Razorwing Flots, which aren't as accurate, just rely on many attacks. Right. But always wounding on 5s, again, another buff here, 4 wounds. Very good. Well done, Mr. Bone. But I did jammy it there, 4 saves, all passed. That, folks, brings us to the morale phase. So there are 2 morale checks that can be failed. Those are, of course, the warriors on the board here. So 1 warrior unit over here has lost 9 of its number, and 1 warrior unit over here has lost 8 of its number. Which one are you rolling for first?
I'll do this one.
Okay, so the 9.
So
okay.
I have to roll a 1.
Yeah,
please.
because you are leadership 10. That's absolutely correct. Okay, so no, he's destroyed. He's okay. Gone. This unit here.
Yeah, so 1 or a 2.
1 or a 2. No, in fact, that is 2 above what you needed, so they would also be wiped out. Yep. Okay, then we have the Immortal. Cannot actually fail because he only lost 4 from the unit. A roll of a 6 would only equal your leadership, which is 10. Okay, so we have destroyed the warriors. So that's something, at least. And that marks the end of the turn. What did we do? Well, we got Kingslayer. We did get Blood and Guts just for 1 point because we didn't destroy units in the fight phase. We ended up destroying a couple of units in the morale phase there. So let's do D3 for Kingslayer is the big 3. Okay, so 1 point for Warlord, 3 points for the Kingslayer there, putting me on a total of 8 points, plus Blood and Guts for 9 points. And I'm going to discard... Oh, actually... We also now, with that, secure Objective 1, because that's Objective 1, and as per new match play rules, I am Objective secured because they're a troops choice. So in total, actually, we're rocking 10 points now. That was an extraordinary turn, and we are definitely now in the game in a big way. The only problem we have is that when these 2 open up next turn, I really, quite seriously, may not really have much left in this side of the board. Plus he's got 2 Night Scythes. So the Necrons are actually far from over from this game. Let's see what happens. Turn 3 for the Necrons coming up next. Well, team, it's now the beginning of the Necron phase. We worked out he cannot reanimate over here because he will not be able to physically place a model without being within an inch of the enemy. So cannot reanimate, but he can over here. So 1 Immortal to roll for. Doesn't come back. Okay, so we're going to go straight into the movement phase coming up next. Turn 3 for the Necrons. He's got Defend Objective 2, Secure Objective 2. He obviously doesn't really want those. They're in my deployment zone. But he's got Mission Critical Objective. He rolled a 4 for that. And that's actually the objective that the Monolith is already holding. So he's actually already got it. Plus he's got Kingslayer. So if he does kill that Swarm Lord this turn, he would be back in it with the points. Let's see what he can do. Movement-wise, we are finished now. This Night Side, after turning its 90 degrees, just stayed on the edge of the board here. This Night Side's flown over this way, so he can bring all of those guns to bear against my back line if he wants to. Both the Monoliths are able to take on their targets. The Swarm Lord's now open. Of course, the Scarabs have retreated. And this Monolith here is ready to unleash some death as well. Of course, this Immortal has retreated. So all of a sudden we're looking a little bit vulnerable because we know how dangerous these Monoliths can be. Plus the 2 Night Sides. Let's see if he can pull this off. It's the shooting phase coming up next. Osiris Ra now opening with his Staff of Light against the Swarm Lords. Trying to avenge Sekhmet himself.
Yeah. But also he's probably been happy now because he's next in line.
He can take over the Nefritai himself.
They didn't really like each other that much.
That's true. Oh, he's got 2 hits there.
Great. So 5s.
1 wound. Can we save? No, we cannot. That's a wound down. 6 wounds left because I would have needed my 5-up invuln there.
Okay, just let me think how I'm going to distribute this.
This Night Scythe into the Hive Guard. Here is the first of the pain. So it's a -1 to hit me because of the Malin Throat, but we've got 8 dice and 6s equal to additional hits. Didn't get a 6, but did get 4 hits. Okay. Right. It is 3s to wounds. He's got 3 wounds. Now 1 is already on 1 wound anyway. And there you go, failed all 3 saves. So 1 is killed, 1's left on 1 wound. Remains. This Night Side now shooting the Hive Guards. Bone hitting on 5s.
Yeah,
now, he's had some choice words for me off camera. Okay.
Righto.
Well, it is. There you go. Now.
2 hits.
Okay, but the 6 equals 2 additional hits, so he gets another 4. He gets another 4. Roll into wounds. 3s.
Yes! 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 Yes!
I'm not sure what that was, but would you like to use a command point to at least reroll one of the wounds?
Well, no, it's damage 1, doesn't make a difference.
Alright, I'll try to make it save.
Okay.
Monolith number 1. Still fully operational now. 15 wounds with the living metal rule.
It's coming back to life.
Everything firing at the Swarm Lord. It's got 6 wounds left. He must bring this down. As really, he's the only thing that threatens the Monoliths. The Gene Stealers aren't actually that good at it. At taking them down, because they'd only wound them on 6s. They do have toxin stacks though for 2 wounds apiece at the moment, so that is something to consider, but wants to try and bring the Monolith down. Or the Swarm Lord down, that's good. Rolling, people. So it's 5s you needed to wound.
Yep.
You've wounded me 3 times.
Yeah.
I passed 1 save on the invulnerable. It's -2. That's 2 wounds down. He's only got 4 wounds left.
Do you have Catalyst going on?
I do have Catalyst going on.
You should do that for the last
For the
one
Staff
as
of
well.
Light as well. It's a very good point. Fail both anyway, and for the Staff of Light, fail that. Good. So there we go.
That's cool.
That's what I get if I forget. It's my own fault. So there you go. Okay. So 4 wounds left.
Right. So Particle Whip.
Particle Whip.
Watch me whip. And watch me destroy Swarm Lord.
It's a good roll.
That's what I want.
It's all hits. That's the sort of roll he's looking for. 3s to wounds. Easy peasy. Yes, it is.
Bosh.
Oh dear. Rather ominous roll there.
And now you die.
The spider. Can I use a command point?
No, you've got none left.
Okay.
Can I just kill all of them like they should be dead?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, you cheater.
That's fine. Okay. So that's 5d. D3 damage. D3 damage.
D3 damage. That's
So it's
right.
5d3 damage. No problem at all. No problem at all. We got this, people. We got this, people. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wounds. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
If anyone can do it for you, mate.
No, tempt me. Don't tempt me.
10, 5, can you believe it?
Well, well, all I would need now to survive is is 7 5s and 6s.
Oh, is that it?
The spider.
No.
No, he is dead.
Oh.
It's Slay the Warlords.
Oh.
Well earned. The Swarm Lord is destroyed. Well, with that, we then have this monolith, and it's looking bad, people. 2 of the particle Gorse Flux Arcs, into this unit. 2 into this unit. Particle Whip, he is a character, but he is the nearest model, into the Broodlord. So, first of all, what are we doing?
Let's do these guys here.
Okay, so these Gene Stealers, the nearest ones with the Gorse Flux Arc. Yep, 3 hits. 3s to wound, 2 wounds. 5s to save, lightning reflex, 1 killed. So I'll remove him. Okay.
Okay.
The next unit. Better, all hit this time. Is 3s to... Oh, no. Oh dear. Only the 1 wound. Does kill 1 though, so 1 is slain. The Particle Whip now on the Broodlord. Oh, this is getting dangerous, people.
Okay, it has to die.
It has to die. He's got 4 hits.
Okay.
That's the average.
That
It's
will
3.
do.
Oh no!
Yes.
No.
Yes.
The Broodlord must survive.
Broodlord's gonna
No. 5s and 6s to save.
No, he's done 2. What's wrong with you?
Okay.
Why are you like
Now
this?
I've got 5 wounds left. Your average says you'll take 4, but you could potentially kill him.
Can and will. Can and will.
Well, that's 4 wounds.
Right.
That leaves the Broodlord with 1.
Right, so I've got a command point I can use, right?
Right. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Can And will.
Idea! Oh no! He doesn't kill him. Last attacks of the assault phase now for these Necrons. 3 of them against the Tyranids. Run to hit.
It's 4 of them.
4 of them, sorry, yes.
Yeah.
Good point. So I
That's
couldn't
right.
see the other one hiding.
That's what threw me, you see. That's why I had that weird moment of doing it. Okay.
2 hits.
2 hits.
No wounds. And then the
Excellent.
Tyrannocyte attacks back with D6 attacks. 2 hits. 2 wounds. 1 destroyed. That marks the end of the turn. No morale for me because I'm still within Synapse range across the board. So he's got Kingslayer for D3. That's what he wants. So that's 4 points awarded with the Slay the Warlord this turn, plus mission critical objective, 5 points, putting you on 7, Bone.
Yeah.
All of a sudden he's caught right back up with me. I'm on 10 still, but I've only got a few cards to draw in my next turn, additionally to what we've had previously. So 10-7, okay, what's Tyranids?
I'm going to remove Defend Objective 2.
Yes, I think that's an understandable choice.
Yeah.
So he does that, and we'll move on to Tyranids turn 3 coming up next. Mixed bag here, folks. It's turn 3 for the Nids. We've got Assassinate, Secure Objective 5, and Overwhelming Firepower. The problem is, so we also got priority orders received, and then the objective 4 priority orders received happen to be Defend Objective 5, but only my Warlord can do it, and my Warlord's dead. So there you go. And now the movement phase is complete. Now we didn't actually move with either of the Tyrannofex. We want to do our double shots because that would be the correct life choice. Didn't move with our Hive Guard or our Malanthrope. This Malanthrope did move towards that lone immortal. The Broodlord is hunting Osiris himself. This Genestealer Brood went towards this Monolith. This Genestealer Brood went towards this Monolith. And the Tyrannocyte remained where he is. Actually, we're pretty thin on the ground, really. And with the way that this Portal of Exile can work, well, those Genestealers could start taking a punishment too. And there's nothing I can do about it. So, movement's done. We've got a Psychic phase coming up. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm just going to do it quickly for you here on camera. I am going to cast Smite on Osiris.
Okay.
Does go off just on a 5. It's D3 mortal wounds. 2 mortal wounds on Osiris Ra. We're in the shooting phase. This Tyrannocyte, Tyrannofex rather, 20 shots. He didn't move, so he's going to fire twice, so 40 shots into the Monolith. Rolling to hit. 4s are what we want. 5s to wound. We are strength 5, he's toughness 8. 3 wounds, so 3 armor saves on that Monolith. We're just trying to take him down a piece at a time. He loses a wound. We then have 20 more shots. Plus this one. Run to hits. Okay. Okay, again, we're not quite getting the edge we're after. No wounds. Hive Guard now, 4 shots into the damaged Night Scythe. We're on into hits. 2 hits because of the -1. We're on into wounds. Both fail. Significant. Well, let's see if the Tyrannofex can try and bring it down. We've not been too lucky with these guys so far. It's 5s to hit because of the -1. Not good. Okay, can we get any wounds? Do get 2 wounds though. We'll take that. We've still got a second round of 20. Both good. Alright, let's try it again. Second round of 20 shots at this Night Scythe. Only 4. Oh dear. 1 more wound. And he's well, there you go. We've had an absolute shocker. We did nothing with our firepower. That could seal our deal.
Oh, you took a wound off that.
Oh, we did. It's true. Yeah. But your quantum, your living vessel will completely ignore it next turn.
That's true.
Yes. So this is why these monoliths. I really like them. I think they're very cool. So right now we're going to go into the charge phase. He's going to charge him.
Okay.
So if you'd like to Overwatch that. No. Okay, he can't fail to charge. I rolled as a token gesture. He's in. Okay, this Gene Stealer Brood will charge your Monolith.
Cool, so first of all, let's see if the Gate of Infinity goes off.
Yes, okay,
so
4 or more.
Not Gate of Infinity, the Portal of Exile.
Portal of Exile. It goes off, folks.
So I do D6
mortal wounds.
Die.
And that is what we're talking about. The entire brood destroyed. Well done, Mr. Bone. If you'd like to remove those models.
Oh, that is so satisfying.
And if you'd also like to pick up my hopes and dreams with them, I'd be very appreciative.
And tell you what, I'll just leave them in the bin.
Next up, okay, when first you fail, try again. This brood will charge this Monolith.
Okay, let's see if I can do it again.
On a 4 or more.
No.
Command point, is it?
Yeah, go on.
It
Last
is
one.
Advisable.
Last one.
Tactical choice.
No, that was good.
Doesn't go off. Okay.
That's right. I still get to Overwatch with everything, though.
Of course. Yeah, it's not all doom and gloom.
So just give me a mo.
Okay. We must remember that the hero Gene Stealer is also there.
Right.
He has 2 bonus attacks, by the way.
Oh, good on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Liar.
One hit. Failed to wound, unfortunately. Okay, but you've got 6 particle whip attacks. Oh, 2 hits. 2 wound, because it is 2s to wound. Lightning reflex. Yes.
That's arrogant.
Okay. So in the big brood goes, and then the hero Gene Stealer will go up into this portal and slobber all over it. Finally, now we will charge the Broodlord into Osiris Ra.
This is where I send him to hell.
No.
Yes!
No!
No, that would be cool.
There we go. I cannot fail to charge. I'm just going to move him in. Right. Well, do you have any command points left? That's you spent now, isn't it? Okay, so I don't need to worry about the order of combat. It is the assault phase coming up. Let's kick off with the Broodlord then against Osiris. 6 attacks hitting on 2s. Rerolling failed wounds with his monstrous sliding talons. I believe I'm wounding you on 4s. What is your toughness, sir?
It is a whopping 4.
Right, so actually wound you on 3s then in that case, because we are strength 5 with a reroll. All 5 wounds. Now, it should be noted, I've rolled a 6, which means that the Broodlord, on the roll of a 6, it's a -6 to your save and D3 damage. Does he have an invulnerable save?
No. Yeah, only against ranged weapons.
Right, okay, so it's D3 damage guaranteed here. And the 2, he's only got 2 wounds left. The Broodlord destroys Osiris Ra. Attacks against the Monolith now. The Gene Stealers that charged over here first, they are within 6 inches of the Broodlord, so they will hit on 2s. And now for the tough part. It's 6s to wound, but for every 6, he doesn't get a save, and I do 2 damage. So this is where it could get nasty. 2 6s. 2 6s, so 4 damage. It leaves him with 10 wounds left, but he is still alive. Looks like it's down to the hero Gene Stealer, grotty looking on, enjoying the show beneath him. That is only 1 hit because he's not within 6 inches of the Broodlord. Can he get a 6? Tyrannocyte next with D6 attacks. It's 3. Technically the Malanthrope next, but it doesn't really matter in this instance. Just the 1 wound on the Immortals.
No?
We do destroy 1. The Malanthrope now, 4 attacks hitting on 4s. 1 hit, strength 5. Fails to wound, sir. Fails to wound. You do now start to get to hit me back.
Cool.
So you've got 2
Immortals.
1 hit. Failed to wound. You've got this Immortal here. 1 hit. That is a fail to wound because I am toughness 5. Yes, I am toughness 5. Now your Monolith can also hit back as well. Let's work out those attacks. Monolith now 3 attacks hitting on 6s. No, nothing. Then at the end of the fight phase, the Malanthrope has a funny rule. On a 4 up, you take a mortal wound because of my nasty poisonous cloud. 6, very appropriate to mortal wounds. It means the unit's destroyed. It gets worse. I've got something called Prey Adaptation. If he destroys a unit in combat, which is what he's just done, my entire army now re-roll 1s to hit against you. This is a true story, people. Absolutely brutal. That marks the end of the turn. We did secure Prey adaptation, which is very cool. We did get Assassinate, which is cool for a point. So it puts us on 11 points. But Bone still has 1 fully operational Monolith, 1 damaged Monolith, 2 Flyers left on the board, and 2 Immortals. He can still win this game. Let's see what he does. It's his turn 4 coming up next. Turn 4 for the Necrons. He's got Secure Objective 2, Overwhelming Firepower, and Big Game Hunter. Big Game Hunter is possible, though he may not be able to do it this turn. Overwhelming Firepower, however, is very possible. He's moved his circling night sides now across the table, again able to lay down a withering amount of firepower here. And the Scarabs have come out to play. They'll be able to tie up and potentially kill more Gene Stealers. The 2 Monoliths are fully operational now. This one with its living metal now 11 wounds again, meaning it hasn't degraded. Grotty is doing the happy dance. Also, just as a point, we do need to do the reanimation protocol rolls for the 3 remaining. 1 does come back. Night side now, shooting phase into the Hive Guards. They are still within 3 inches of the Malon Throat. So 4s. But 6s equals 2 additional hits. That doesn't look like a bad roll at all.
That'll do.
That will do indeed. Okay, 3s to wounds. Very good roll. Okay, 5 wounds. Can we get the saves? 4s are required. No, oh dear. That is the unit destroyed. 1 was only left on 1 wound anyway. Excellent work, Mr. Bone. This night side now, seeking Big Game Hunter, is going for the Tyrannocyte. It does qualify with over 10 wounds. 11 wounds now, in fact.
I just want to check where I'm at, because he's now on 5.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure, see if I've popped back into the good spot.
Okay.
Just give me one.
No, he's still hitting on 4s, so let's see what he can do. That is...
Cool.
Okay, I think you are wounding on 3s, because
Yeah.
you are strength 7, aren't you? So, good rolling. 3s to save. Well, I think it's 4s to save actually, sorry, but that's 2 definitely failed. I'll just check my armor. Here's where it gets tactical, folks. Particle Whip goes into the Tyrannocytes. The Flux Arcs, how are they going?
So I'm going to put 1, which is 3 shots into the hero.
Hero Gene Stealer.
Yeah, we'll see. And then the other 3 into this brood here.
Okay. Alright. Let's see if you can do it. Grotty is on that Monolith, so... Let's see if he's feeling mischievous.
Yeah. That's either a good or a bad thing. Right, 3s. Okay, good. Thank you, Grotty.
So we've got Tactics Mascot coming through.
So this is strength base, so it's 3s.
Okay.
Oh, Grotty, why you do this?
He likes to tease.
Why you do this, Grotty?
-2 to the save.
That's it.
1 save on a 6. It is D3 damage, so he's not killing the Tyrannocyte this turn.
Well, it might be. You don't know.
Okay. So 2 wounds. So that's 7 wounds left.
So then let's kill the hero.
Okay. He wishes to try and kill my hero. 2 hits. This Gene Stealer cannot be killed. It's only 1 wound, and of course the spider will roll a 6 to save. Yep. Like I said, the hero Gene Stealer will not die. We got his 3 Flux Arcs.
Well, I'll kill the rest of them, that's fine.
Off camera here in the studio. Only to it. The Gene Stealers. Okay, iffy, but 3's to wound now. Okay, that's 4. Okay. 5s and 6s required. That is 4 Gene Stealers slain, leaving only 2 left alive. This Monolith now, the Particle Whip, familiar story going over into the Tyrannocytes.
Yeah.
Where are the Flux Arcs going?
So I'm going to put 3 of them into Old Mate here.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to put the last one into the hero.
Okay, well, I wouldn't advise it.
Yeah, well, there it is. That's what's happening.
Here we go. Particle Whip first, is it?
Yes.
6 shots.
3.
Coming in hot. 3 hits. 3 hits.
I just want everyone to look at that.
Okay, rolling to wound. 3s. 2 wounds. Okay.
Cool. So I now can't kill it.
You can. That's true. You can't physically kill it now. It is 5 6s to save. In fact, no save, so it is 2d3 damage. He's got the big 3 insult to injury here. It leaves it with 1 wound left alive. Can you believe it? All right, Flux Arc time. Which one are we opening with first?
The hero.
Oh, the hero.
Yes.
Now, I advised him not to target the hero. He wouldn't listen. Okay, good. To wound. It's got 2 wounds, right? Double 6, I guess.
Yes.
Oh, no, he's dead.
Yes. Die. Die.
All right, and the next 3 Flux Arcs against the Broodlord. Must kill this monstrosity. Cannot afford to have him alive. Uh, 2 wounds. Now, lightning reflexes gives me 5+ invulnerable save. He does kill him.
Good.
I think if I hadn't, Rome would have been very upset. Charge phase now. The Scarabs charge the 2 Gene Stealers.
Well, I don't think they can fail though.
Can't fail. In they go. Now we'll go straight into the assault phase, folks. It's just a matter of business here. Necrons cleaning up their lines. One to hit.
A gathering.
Gathering of Scarabs. Hit on 3s.
That's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
Right, now hang on a sec. What's
Toughness
this?
is 4.
What's my toughness?
Your
What's my
strength?
strength? Is 3, I believe.
Yes, I believe so too. So
Yeah.
it'd be 5s.
Yeah, so it's still a 5. Alright. Yes!
Well, on that note, 6 attacks back from the Steelers now into the Scarabs. 5 hits. Only 1 wound though.
Do I even get a save?
I have no idea.
Let's have a look.
What is your save?
Well, they're hiding from me in the book, okay? Just give me a sec.
Okay.
Here we are. 6 up.
Okay, so then no, you don't.
No, I don't.
That's 1 wound down. So that marks the end of Necron's turn 4. He did get overwhelming firepower for the big 3. So this is D3 points. Now he's on 7 points now. So what he wants really is, well, of course he wants as high as he can get. He gets a 2. Okay, so that puts him on 9 points. I'm currently on 11 points, and it's my turn 4 coming up next. But as you can see, the Necron's still very much in this game. We've nearly been completely obliterated in his field here. We have very little to actually be able to deal with the monoliths. Let's see what I can do. It's my turn 4 coming up next. This is it. A Tyranid turn 4 summary now. I've got Scour the Skies, Objective 5 and Overwhelming Firepower. As a result, I've moved the Malanthrope over here. He is still just within 8 inches so he's in synapse range of the Tyrannofex here. But more importantly now, he's within 3 inches of Objective 5, so we will get that, putting us on 12 points this turn. The Tyrannofex obviously moving, so he can't fire twice. I've left the Gene Sealers there. I've left the Tyrannocyte there. Let's get on with the shooting phase coming up next. I've got no psychic power left on the board. Let's see if I can destroy a flyer and try and down one of these monoliths. Tyrannofex, first of 40 shots. First round of 20 against this Nightside. Just looking for some hits. Right, well, we've rolled well for the first time against these flyers. Yeah, we've got 3 wounds. That's kind of what I'm hoping for every turn. He's got a wound down. Puts him back on 4. He's still alive though. Okay, 20 more shots coming up. 20 more shots coming into this flyer. Liking these hits. Where have you been? All my game. Where have you been? All of my game. Oops, some of those were misses.
I know it's getting on a bit, mate, but come on.
2 wounds, 2 wounds. 1 goes through. So he's got 3 wounds left. Rather precarious here, folks. 3 wounds. This Tyrannofex now will shoot at the Nightside also. He only gets the 20 shots this time, so I need this to count. Only the 1 wound, so it will sadly not kill it. But it does take another wound, so it's got 2 wounds left. This Tyrannocyte now having to target the nearest models, which is the Immortals. Still hits on 5s despite that damage. 3 hits. Strength 5 with the Death Spitters. 2 wounds at -1. 1 destroyed. That brings us to the charge phase, and I'm not going to charge the Tyrannocyte, but I will charge the Tyrannofex into this Monolith. So in we go. 6, 7, 8, 9. We will make it, assuming you don't overwatch the life out of me.
Okay, powerful whip.
1 hit. 1 wound. -2. Failed save. D3 damage. It's 2 wounds down from a Tyrannofex. 12 left.
Okay, and then I have to use the pill.
Yes, use the pill. Oh, 4 more hits. Things getting cheeky here. Rossi's Monolith. Actually, no wounds though. So that's it, we're in the assault phase. Portal of Exile can't affect monsters, so as per the FAQ. So I get 4 attacks against him. I do hit on 4s. Got 2 hits, and with powerful limbs at strength 7, wounding on 5s, 1 wound. Now, the powerful limb does have a minus to the save. That minus is, just checking, powerful limbs -2, and it is damage 2 as well. So 5 up is what he wants here. No, so that is 2 wounds down, leaving him on 9 wounds. And these 2 Gene Stealers against the Scarabs. Oh dear, only 3 hits. Do get the 3 wounds though, and at -1 you don't get a save, so that destroys 1 Scarab base and puts another down 1 wound. Scarabs hitting back now. And of course the Monolith will get to hit back too. Lots of hits. 5s to wound. 4 wounds. Gosh. Extraordinary. The Gene Stealers are dead.
Yes, yes, swarm, a gathering swarm.
The Monolith now will be striking the Tyrannofex back. What are his attacks saying?
3 attacks.
Okay.
I'm always hitting on 6s.
Got a hit.
Nice, strength 8.
So 4s to wound. No wounds, okay. That's it, folks. It's the end of the turn. Did I get Scale Disguise? No. Did I get Secure Objective 5? Yes. So that puts me on 12 points in total. Did I get Overwhelming Firepower? No. So, mixed bag. Bone, I think, could easily steal this now. It is his turn 5 coming up next. This is huge, people. This is game stealing stuff. He's got Supremacy and Big Game Hunter. We've already established that Big Game Hunter is very possible. He just needs to destroy the 1 wound Tyrannofex. With Supremacy, he can hold 3 objectives. He's retreated with the Monolith. The Warriors of Immortals have come over here. They did advance. They had to advance to make that objective. They are objective secured, as in they can steal objectives as per the new match play chapter approved. So they've already stolen that from the Tyrannofex. It all relies now on this Monolith, which has moved to within 3 of this objective, but he will need to kill the Malanthrope in order to secure it. And meanwhile, we have this fully operational Night Scythe over here as well. So, we're going to go straight into the shooting phase.
We sure are.
Who's shooting at what?
I'm going to do the damage Night Scythe over there.
Okay.
At him.
Right, so what does the Night Scythe hit on normally now?
5s. So
right, so it's 6s to hit, but any 6 to hit is...
an extra
2 additional hits. So at the Malanthrope, this is big. He needs to kill the Malanthrope. He's got 1, so that's 3 hits total. Can he wound? 3s. He's got 2 wounds. The Malanthrope fails both saves. It's 2 wounds down, folks.
So let's do everything into him.
Okay, so the Monolith now, every single bit of firepower it's got at that.
So particle whip. No.
With a -1 to hit, there's 3 hits. Okay.
Yep, there's 3 hits.
Still gets the 3 hits. It is 3s to wound. Oh no. Okay, it's not the side of luck he wanted. -2. I think I've got a 6 up save now. Oh no, I make it. Except I'm glad I double checked.
Yeah,
the Malanthrope's only a 5 up save, so I wouldn't have gotten the save. So well done, Bone. D3 wounds. 3. Nice. So he's got 5 wounds down on this Malanthrope. I believe I start with 9. Yes, it is 9. Okay. So I've got 4 left. He must kill him with these Flux Arcs, because if he doesn't, he can't actually target me. Because he is a character, and this Monolith is nearer the Tyrannofex, so it can only be this Monolith that destroys him. Pressure is on. Pressure is on. 4 stick hits. At every wound he gets, I will not get a save. Surely that brings some joy to this cold Necron Tear's heart. Rolling to hit. Forwards. Okay. Now, this is rather unfortunate.
Yeah.
I've only got 4 wounds left. He is strength 5, I'm toughness 5. He needs 4 of these dice to be 4 or more to kill him. He needs 4 of these dice to be 4 or more to kill him. 4 of the dice! No! The Malanthrope survives on 2 wounds. Slippery creatures found in the bowels of those Tyranid hive ships, Mr. Bone.
Yeah, bowels is correct.
This Monolith now, sadly, having to target the Tyrannofex over the Malanthrope, but he's doing a particle whip into the Tyrannofex, a Flux Arc into the Tyrannocyte. Here we go. It's a particle whip, a lot hit. 3 wounds, very nice. At -2, I've only got 5 up saves, which I make 2, so it's D3 damage. It's only the 1. Okay, it's got 11 wounds left. Unfortunate, folks. Okay, the Flux Arc now into the Tyrannocyte. All he needs to do is kill that Tyrannocyte to get the big game hunter at least. Oh, that's nice rolling. This should do it. 2 wounds. 3 wounds. -2 would mean I need a 666 to survive. No, the Tyrannocyte is destroyed. It could potentially explode, but it doesn't matter because it's not within radius to do anything to anyone else. But he has secured Big Game Hunter. That's the end of the shooting. He's now going in for a charge on that Malanthrope. He can't fail to charge, so...
Yeah. So let's just go for the attacks.
He needs at least 2 6s to hit, so that he has a chance of killing him.
That's when I get 3.
Oh! 1 hit. Okay, can you wound? No. Okay. Oh no.
So cool.
Oh no. Okay, so the Malanthrope now does get to hit back with 4 attacks, of which he hits twice, of which he wounds once. This is a -1 on this, by the way. He does save, right? And at the end of the fight phase, on a 4 or more, you suffer a mortal wound. No. Okay. The end of the turn, end of turn 5, potentially the last turn, he did get Big Game Hunter. It didn't have a wounds characteristic of 20 or more at the beginning of the game, so it is just 1 point. That does put Bone on 10 points, plus he's got Line Breaker, 11 points.
One thing we should do before we carry on.
Yes.
This guy should probably shoot at someone.
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah, let's just do that real quick.
Yes, of
so
course.
we're going to shoot at
And in fact, that's what gives you Line Breaker. So.
Yeah, yeah. As soon as you said that, I was like, oh.
Okay.
Alright, real quick. So 4s. Okay.
And is he going for the Malanthrope?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I'll kill you.
Trying to
kill
destroy
the
the Malanthrope. Yeah, that's good rolling. To save now. Fail all but 1, 4 wounds down, leaving him with 5 left. So that's the lay of the land. He's on 11 points now, including Line Breaker. I'm on 12 naturally, and I don't have Line Breaker yet, but all it would take me to do is to move over here in turn 5 to get Line Breaker. Let's see what I do. My turn 5 coming up next. Turn 5 summary for the Tyranids now. The Tyrannofex has stepped into his deployment zone. Malanthrope stayed where he is because, of course, he's retreated from that combat, of course. But he's staying where he is to ensure that I'm contesting this supremacy here. This Tyrannofex is static, this Malanthrope static. We're just going to go straight into the shooting phase now. This Tyrannofex will do double shots up at this night side. So 20 shots. Hitting on 5s. 2 wounds, Mr. Bone, in the first round. 1 wound down. Second round of 20 now. Another 2 wounds, Mr. Bone. And another wound down. This Tyrannofex now will try and do 20 shots up at the really damaged night side.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's alright.
Does. 3 wounds. He's only got 2 wounds left. It's getting dangerous. It's getting dangerous. Oh, he's got 1 wound left. Finally, the charge and assault phase coming up. The Tyrannofex goes into the Scarabs. And yes, he makes it. So let's move him in. So we've got 4 attacks here. Hitting on 4s. Only 1 hit. And first win. There you go. Scarabs can hit me back.
Yes. You know, for a unit which has done nothing, these have been so good this
They've done so much for a unit that's done nothing. It's true.
They stopped you from dropping in behind me.
Yep.
They've killed some G-Stealers.
Yep.
They realise that they are a swarm, not a gathering. It's just been good.
4 hits.
4 hits. I'm very proud of them.
It's always 5s to win, no wins.
No.
Okay.
But imagine if you had like 20 of them or something
or
like
more.
that. Or
yeah.
more.
All of a sudden.
That's a problem.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it becomes very interesting. Well, that's it. Marks the end of the turn. I didn't get overwhelming firepower, didn't get Scour the Skies. In fact, the only points that I'm left with at the end of the game is the extra point for Linebreaker, putting me on 13 to Bone. What are you on? 11, wasn't it? Okay. Here we are, end of the game. If it ends now, it's 13 to the Spider, 12 to the Bone. And it ends. Oh, Mr. Bone.
I was so close.
You were
Always
so
on preview.
close.
Always.
Oh,
What a
no.
game, though. What a game.
Wow, that was an extraordinary game.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? I mean,
That was really cool.
I think maybe you've got the moral victory one on that one. Mr.
Sure.
Bone.
I'll take it. I'll take a moral victory.
Yeah. I mean, Myrmidon, fought well. I think I got the luck just when I needed a couple of critical points. But actually, you know what? Overall, I think the Necrons were stronger than the Tyranid list.
Yeah, well, look, if that game went on, I think I had it.
Yeah, I agree. Because the Monoliths, the dual Monoliths really are really good now.
Yeah, they're very good.
And
that 3 to hit.
It's amazing.
That's it now.
And they're so resilient, and then with the living, just the little living metal, just ploughing away there, getting an extra wound every turn.
And that
So good.
The mortal wounds rule called the not the Gate of Infinity, the other one.
The Gate of Exile. Portal of Exile.
Portal of Exile.
Portal of Exile.
It's awesome.
Yes, it is.
You know, it's one of the first big wound units, like a knight-esque sort of thing that I've played, and I go, I think this is almost worth the points.
Yeah. It's got good firepower.
Really good firepower.
Can deep strike in if it wants to.
Yeah, it can teleport units as well.
Yeah. Which in a more optimised Necron list you would be making use of. Yeah.
I think they're really good.
So do I. I think 2 of them, again with anything in this game, if something is powerful already, you take 2 of it becomes exponentially more powerful. It's Grotty was on the Necron side there. He was quite enjoying himself.
Yeah, he kind of jumped on the monolith that needed to do the business at the wrong time and cursed me, as he normally does.
Well, he's the mascot, He's mischievous.
Yeah, he's not. I think you used him on purpose. Yeah, there's a tabletop tactic for you. Get grotty and curse your enemies. Although, I mean...
It only really works for the spider.
But how that sees, I counted... How about when you rolled a 6 and then I rolled a 6 in the siege?
I know, and look, and that was what really put the Nids on the back foot when you seized. Now, Tyrannofex wise, they weren't that good in this game, and I kind of knew they wouldn't be, but I thought it'd be cool to show you guys what they could potentially do. And when they did have the one opportunity to fire at an infantry unit, we did see them rack up lots of wounds.
Yeah, and
that's kind of what they're there for.
Yeah, exactly.
But in a list where you've got 2 Night Sides and 2 Monoliths, the infantry almost become a secondary thought because I had lots of Gene Stealers anyway. But there you go, folks. Another game. Hopefully you've enjoyed Myrmidon here. Swarmlord did boss it. You did get him in the end. He came down in his pod and he took out stick, man.
I thought that was a great game.
It was.
That was really good. I always feel a bit dirty playing Necrons, but I felt good playing them today. It was fun.
It was a good dirty.
Yeah, it was good dirty.
So on that note, folks, hope you've enjoyed this one. We've got plenty more coming up soon, including, well, potentially some Adeptus Mechanicus. So here Games Workshop's announced that there's a new book coming.
Yeah.
So interesting.
More work behind the scenes.
That's it. And they say Death Guard's coming as well. Wow, that could also be quite interesting.
Yeah.
So you got lots to look forward to, folks. This has been Lawrence and the Bone. We'll see you very soon.